Imagine traveling to a place unchanged by time. Picture a land steeped in history and discover why Albarabello is more than just truly. Your eyes drink in wide expanses filled with colours and scents, revealing the heart of an extraordinary Puglia. We are in the Moria of Truly. Albarabello lets itself be gently experienced and discovered. From day to night, it's always the right time to be here, the time of simplicity. Whitewash and conical roofs, behold the Truly. The living stone becomes a home and remains such for many local folk. Every year, Albarabello's incalculable heritage attracts many foreign visitors. The basilicas of Saint Cosma and Damiano reveals the design and shape of temples, echoing the neoclassical style in vogue in the 1800s. It's a rare craft, that of the master trullero. For centuries their patient hands have devotedly worked the stone, making it come to life. Everything in this land is about hospitality, history and tradition. A strong surviving rural culture that is passed down from generation to generation. Such a culture is created from tangible signs, but also from architectural examples, folk traditions, and cultural relations. What is the reason that inspires us to want to go off travelling? Because we feel the need to see things in a different way, to gain new perspectives and to be surprised by stories we've never heard before. Travelling is about the people you meet, the things you see, and especially those you remember. That's why Albarabello is much more than just Truly. Aquileia was founded by the Romans in 181 BC and was one of the largest cities in the Roman Empire. The origins of the basilica stretch back to the 4th century. The mosaic floor was discovered in the 19th century. It was built at Bishop Theodore's behest in 313 AD. One of the liveliest communities of early Latin Christianity and one of the most important ports on the Adriatic Sea, Aquileia was an important crossroads of the Roman Empire. It was the starting point of the main commercial, cultural and military routes towards northeastern Europe, and in the Middle Ages it became a crossroads of religions. The Forum was the heartbeat of the city's political, administrative and social life. Aquileia has been a member of the UNESCO World Heritage List since 1998. In a land planted with legends, history, stunning landscapes and human love is Butrint, a magical place where miracles overlap. A microcosm of Mediterranean history, representing the rise and fall of the great empires that dominated the region. According to classical mythology, Butrint was founded by exiles fleeing the fall of Troy. In 2000, Butrint was declared a national park. The park is a haven of natural habitats for many endangered species. Due to its importance for the preservation of archaeological and historical heritage, Butrint was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992. When sunrise comes to the old town of Corfu, the town awakens. When darkness falls in Corfu, the night is still young. No matter what time it is, the visitor can admire many monuments, from the Palace of St Michael and St George, the Museum of Asian Art, Capodistrias statue and the Ionian Academy, to the old town itself. Prominent people are involved in cultural events during the year. Corfu is a place where art and culture meet tradition and customs. Traditional products keep their authenticity, and many local factories produce soaps, kumquat products, olive oil and wine. Visitors can walk around the old town by night, when tradition meets entertainment. A unique ritual is the pot throwing that takes place every Saturday after the first resurrection of Jesus. Imagine a city where centuries-old traditions are alive today. Imagine a city where culture is passed down through generations. Imagine a city where history influences the future. Imagine a city where heritage is proudly celebrated.
Homuncolo!
Imagine a city that lives in harmony with nature. That city is Dubrovnik. A fairy tale castle amidst magnificent gardens and elegant buildings. This is Ferrara, a city and a land conceived in the Renaissance period. Here you walk through harmonious spaces with an array of large roads, in a city open to 1,000 cultural events, to be enjoyed with ease, so as to appreciate its flavours and grasp its essence. The mix of art and nature still remains the main characteristic of this land, acknowledged for its exceptional cultural landscape, which has kept its form and original charm over time. The natural and cultural historical region of Kotor includes the Bay of Kotor, a unique fjord-like bay of the Mediterranean, cutting 29 kilometres into the coastline. Life in the Kotor region began in prehistoric times. The Romans conquered the region from the Illyrians in the 2nd century, leaving significant cultural traces. The old town of Kotor is a network of narrow, winding streets, connecting squares of distinctive character. The 6 Romanesque churches are of special historical value. The town had its own statute as early as 1301. From the 9th century, Kotor had its own Bokanevi, which developed its own distinctive dance. Today, it is protected as intangible cultural heritage of Montenegro. The 17th and 18th centuries gave a strong impetus for the development of coastal settlements. The distinctive landmarks of Perast are the 2 beautiful islands situated off its seafront, the natural island of St George with a Benedictine abbey dating from the 9th century, and Our Lady of the Rocks, a man-made island. The glorious area of the Bay of Kotor was inscribed on UNESCO's World Heritage List in 1979. This is a land where water runs through the heart of society. Mostar is a crossroads of the east and the west. Its 16th century bridge is a symbol of the city. Mostar is a city where the Neretva River brought people from all religions and cultures together. Blagai is influenced by its terrain, and its roots can be traced back to medieval times. Stolac links the hinterland mountains in Bosnia with the coastal region. The interaction between people and their natural surroundings gave rise to these mills all along the banks of rivers throughout the region. Water brought life. With its ancient city centre and salt pans, Piran represents an important monument with rich architectural heritage and a unique cultural landscape made up of salt pans. Piran, as we know it today, is mainly the result of building activities of eminent families, who emphasise their social status by building houses and palaces. Decades of dependence on salt made Piran an important port on the western Istrian coast. Salt panning, together with maritime transport and the salt trade, were the most important economic activities in Piran since the early Middle Ages. Traditional salt panning gained new momentum at the end of the 14th century. The salt pan areas are under special protection as nature parks, as these are inhabited by rare, endangered and characteristic wildlife species. The Piran salt pans are the work of human hands with a millennium-old tradition. Istria, the largest Croatian peninsula on the Adriatic, irresistible, mysterious and serene. Pula is the area's largest city, located at the southwestern tip of the Istrian peninsula. What certainly makes Pula special in the eyes of many heritage admirers is the Pula Arena, a well-preserved Roman amphitheatre, built in the 1st century AD. From ancient times, the towns of Porec and Rovin, clustered on the hills of the peninsula near the sea, attracted the attention of visitors. The interior of Istria is particularly harmonious and beautiful. Each town offers us a unique experience. the value of the Istrian cultural heritage has been recognised by UNESCO. The Christian community built up the first churches. The Euphrasian Basilica was erected in the 6th century on their foundations and is one of the best preserved early Christian complexes in the world. The interior of the basilica is richly decorated with marble columns, whose capitals are masterpieces of the former stonemason's art. It was inscribed on the UNESCO's World Heritage List in 1997 due to its exceptional value. Ravenna keeps many memories of its past as a capital city, thanks to its mosaics, which are unique in the world for their richness, extension and design consistency. This glorious past is embodied in 8 monuments that have been added to the UNESCO World Heritage List. Over the centuries, these monuments were built to honour famous emperors, kings and bishops. The magnificence of the Byzantine mosaics and the atmosphere of the ancient basilicas certainly deeply impressed Dante Alighieri, who found the ideal place to complete his Divine Comedy in Ravenna. The City Art Museum displays a rich collection of contemporary mosaics. The Ravenna Festival, whose program includes several concerts and events, spreads a magical atmosphere over the city and its monuments every year. This extremely rich cultural agenda makes Ravenna a leading contemporary art and culture capital. The city of Split is situated in the warmest region of the northern Mediterranean coast. The historic core of Split, with Diocletian's Palace, was among the first urban complexes to have joined UNESCO's World Heritage List in 1979. The first inhabitant of Split was the Roman Emperor Diocletian, who chose to build his palace in the bay around 293 AD. The Museum of the City of Split was founded in 1946, and today it is located within the medieval buildings. A statue to the Croatian bishop Grgo-Ninski stands outside the Golden Gate. The Emperor's Palace is among the most important works from the late Roman period. Over a millennium of ancient history and up to the present day, this unique metropolis of southern Croatia blends the old and the new in perfect harmony.